Hello and welcome to Retro Cars Reborn. I'm Lee. This is part 2 sorting out these sexy shock absorbers. So let's get on with it. Right then, so we move on to the removal of the insert. Now I had to go chiseling it off and he didn't want to know at all. So we resorted to the alternative way of undoing it, which is clamping it in a vise. I put some tape around the end of here to keep it from getting damaged. Got a 30mm socket with a nice extension, and with some force you can literally undo it. I also, because I haven't got any heat source other than the hot air gun, I had the hot air gun on the shaft as well, so that it expanded to undo this nut. So I'll continue to undo this and we shall show you the stage after that. So once you've got the McPherson strut open, you're going to want a suitable tub. This is what I use a dioxine. That's where your leaks coming from these shock absorbers, is that seal in there. Look, you can see how damaged it is, but that is just bin worthy now. Look how horrible the oil is. Now you could, if you wanted to, just refill these. Come on, let go. Doesn't want to play ball, look. It took some getting out, but it eventually came out. And this is basically your oil filled insert, except it uses the McPherson strut housing to hold the oil in and to create this seal inside. That's like a little bearing, and then you can see the seal on the top. Yeah, it uses the strut as the housing to hold the oil, whereas the new struts, which are on the shelf there, which I'll show you in a second, are self-contained, so they last 10 times longer. But yeah, nasty stuff, and it stinks, and it's just horrible. I went for the KYB premium shock. These are the oil filled ones, so they're very similar to what we just took out, if not identical. And they come as a fully housed insert, completely sealed, so that there's no damage to them or anything. There's no need for a seal at the top anymore, because it's integral, so even your nut is just a standard nut now, and it's as simple as slotting it in, standing it upright, grabbing your nut, now I'd chuck some thread lock on that, chuck it back in the vise the way that I undid it and tighten it up that way. Gets it nice and tight, but there's no shaking in it, and it's a perfect way of bringing these into the 21st century. Now this is your perfect time also to clean all this up, wire brush it up, give it a nice coat of paint. So that's what I'm going to do, and we'll come back for the spring fitting, top mount, and we'll have a look at the Bilsteins that have been converted into coilovers as another alternative. One painted shock. I tried to match it as close to the Bilstein colour as possible. As you can see, I left a little bit at the top for when putting that in the vise and closing it in case it scratched the paint, but you're never going to see that bit. It's under the car. So now the second stage is putting the tiny spring on instead of this massive one, and I'm wondering if I even need to clamp this spring down. We shall see. Oh, it certainly looks the part, doesn't it? And we've got a bit of an issue. Basically, I did not need to compress this spring to put this back on. It's still undone. So this car, it's going to be low, no doubt. So she's together. It does look good, but watch this. I take the weight of the shock at the top. Yeah, boy. So when MOT time comes and it's just in the air resting, the shock is going to lift out and the spring can get positioned anywhere. Houston, I think we have to put a spacer in. This is going to be fun. So it turns out that you can't space it out. It actually has met the shock exactly where it's supposed to. If we look at the old insert, the cup that holds the spring in has reached its stopping point there. The top mount is in between and the nut's on top. So even if it had the original insert in, it would still do the same. They're just that lower spring. Jesus Christ. So we'll have a look at the coilovers and the roller tops now. Right, so this is the mighty coilover. It's been repaired a couple of times, as you can see how big that bolt is compared to what the original size is. But these are original Bilsteins. You see them for sale all the time. Bilstein shock absorbers, and it'll look exactly like the one I've got here. So the easiest way to tell which one is which is look how thin a normal strut is there, and then you've got your Bilstein. That's how thick it is, because basically the inserts are upside down. So your small bit is at the bottom and your big tube is at the top. They also have this little bolt bit on the bottom, look. There you go. So yeah, you can go coilovers if you want. These are, like I say, original Bilstein shocks that have been converted into coilovers with the roller top. I bought these off a friend. He had them on his Capri. He didn't like them, didn't like the way they rode. I'm going to put them on my Mk2 Escort. So when I do that, you'll be the first to see, and I'll be able to tell you if this is, you know, this is actually worth having or not. So yeah, so you can go this route, or you can go this nice cheaper route. So here's your three options. Are you sticking with your crappy old, out of date, oil, really big springed, awful stuff? The Bilstein coilover, or you know, you can get the other coilovers. Spax makes some. There are other companies that make coilovers for Capris and Escorts. Or are you going with your nice cheap, bring it into the 21st century jobby? Maybe not this spring option though, but until it's fitted, we ain't gonna know. This has been Retro Cars Reborn. I've been Lee, and hopefully we'll be fitting these shock absorbers to the Capri pretty soon. Remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I shall see you in the next video.